Alright. Guess we can start then. Story quest. There we go. I almost had no spoilers to this one, but then I saw one image. But it was only one image, so it's not too bad. Oh, I didn't expect it to be that far. How far am I off? I'm that far off the mark. For some reason I thought it would be somewhere in the desert, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. Wait, where exactly is she? Why would she be in the academia? Nope, she isn't in the academia at all. Would I even think that?
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
But that's the premise, we're shopping.
Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
Wait, is that the first time Paimon was audibly sniffing? God. That wasn't on our list, was it?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Dehya, and NPC character that I'm supposed to know?
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends.
Yeah, but she said she wanted to go on a journey, so why is she still here? That's what the ending of the... well, kind of the ending of the... Archon quest was. So it's weird that she says, oh, I'm going on a grand adventure, and then, I'm still here. I was just kidding.
The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I thought you wanted to go a little bit away from merc work and work on your, well, skills, but that didn't turn out well, did it now? Hello, Huey Joe.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming.
God. I mean, I still remember how I thought that Dehya would be basically the equivalent from Shinsho and Yelan, and I thought Dehya would be the Zhangling to the... would be the equivalent of Zhangling, just 5-star. And look how that prediction turned out to be. Well, I don't know if it was a prediction, I don't remember if I ever said it out loud in any stream, but I always told someone else about it that I think, oh, Dehya will 100% be like Zhangling, just a little different. Since Yelan and Shinsho are not interchangeable in a sense, since they do similar stuff, but not quite the same. No, wait, they do similar stuff. What am I talking about? But yeah, basically that Dehya would turn out like a Zhangling, and it turned into a horrible direction. I mean, her kid in theory is cool, but it just doesn't work
Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
Oh, that's the story.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
But she said they'll treat you to the best dishes! Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait, didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave?
Oh, okay.
There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
Yeah, and the situation hasn't changed.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
Well, that's what the web event was about.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately.
Oh, like a kid?
Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid.
Oh god. I don't know if they expected the outcome, but this is so... It's kind of funny how this basically is how the community is about Dehya. Anxious and paranoid. That's the current state of after Dehya released, which is kind of sad.
Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Oh yeah, the worst kind of trouble. She's not an Archon, she doesn't represent China, so she won't get a buff. To make her at least as good as Diluc.
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave.
Oh, so kinda like Ido's gang, huh?
However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
King Deshret?
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Al-Ahmar, was it?
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Ahmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dekan al-Ahmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dekan al-Ahmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Just hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them.
Okay, now it sounds worse.
Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dekan al-Ahmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women.
How can he be a merc then? Does he just take a cut from all his underlings?
Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dehya. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me.
Wait, but how did you end up in his care instead of the mother's care if he just drops them? How did you get... What? That's usually the other way around, that you don't know the father because he leaves, not that the mother leaves you behind. I mean, it does happen, but it's... Well, whatever. But it's still weird that they found that Dehya talks about her father and that she was raised by him when she didn't even know the mother at all. How did she get past infancy at that point?
He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull.
I mean, yeah, you should really have a bigger repertoire.
He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun.
Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
Oh.
What an interesting guy.
But it doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Oh, why? You just want to find out why they suddenly started causing so much trouble?
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Oh yeah, let's go back to the desert with her.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
But I don't have anything else to do, since there's no other quests.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help.
Well, I do what I can.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Lion's blood. I wonder how much of an NPC her dad looks like. See, I knew it would need to go there. Just not the right timing.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
It's a pleasure to meet you. I trust... Nah, I wouldn't, because, you know, she... Well, pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. There's no need to be so formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. And it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Dekhan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
Huh? That somehow makes things even more confusing.
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Harun, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Dekhan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Ribat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him.
Uh-huh.
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
No.
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh. In that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dehya.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
You can't fight! You never showed any fighting capability. You would be more important if you were somehow connected to the Traveler's power. Or something like that. Or, you know, if you would be involved in attacks or something.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the Traveler here.
Oh, she didn't. She was crying most of the time.
Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys.
Unkempt? You don't look rough and unkempt enough for that kind of description.
The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all.
Nice to look at, yeah.
Now, if only the deputy could figure out
God,
a way to
that
bring a
sounds
few more
bad.
smoking hot members into our ranks.
Oh, okay, so they are going there too, so.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Ooh.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Too late.
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
I mean, if you weren't part of the brigade at that point yet, then it wasn't really one-of-a-lifetime thing. If you weren't there, it could be a one-of-a-lifetime opportunity to begin with. So, I don't know. You would have missed it either way, right?
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight.
Why are they so... I mean, fair. I mean, a duel without any lethal weapons would be fair.
But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up,
No,
never
this
talking
turned-
about it.
Just now it turns into a Looney Tunes thing.
That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homiyanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holof? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dekan al-Akhmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dehya.
I mean, Dehya has one of the cooler bursts and a more involved burst, but it's so sad that they didn't really make it any good. I mean, the fact that it doesn't work together with Yelan and Shinsho speaks volumes about how bad everything was designed. I mean, it was already bad that Beidou didn't work with Widen Shogun, but at least there was an internal explanation for that. And at least Shinsho and Yelan worked. That's a whole nother level of ugh.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
God, I feel so
It's gonna come
tired.
down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them.
And she has such a cool normal attack animation, but it's not even really involved in her elemental skill or her burst. So what I find very curious, they have so many great normal attack strings, but for most
Here they come. You ready?
But the bad thing about that is, so many unique normal attack strings are so wasted, or they feel so wasted, if the... I don't know. I mean, the split scaling or the odd scaling characters, like if you scale with Elemental Mastery or HP or Defense, your normal attack becomes basically entirely useless. And you won't use it ever anymore, since why would you use a normal attack if all your power is only in your E and burst? So there are so many good ones that don't make any sense to use.
Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Well, so we don't let you fight? I just used Dehya because, you know, I like...
Lucky today.
Our bond is strong.
Wow, they are not even in the field anymore.
Let's get it on!
Oh no, the Dialogue one. And it's already over. Great. Couldn't even get to the burst.
You're the Flame Main.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes? You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
Yeah, I like that attitude. She knows what she's doing. I would have done the same.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way.
Oh, I really like that.
2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
Wait, what?
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
He tried to bite off his tongue? What?
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
God, I couldn't imagine to bite my own tongue off.
But why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Oh, she feels bad. Oh well. Oh, couldn't read that. Weapons. Early necessities.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Someone just happened to cancel each other out?
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homayani?
Homoyani? You mean Dunyarzad's family? Could it just be another family with the same last
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shahzaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father and the head of the Homayani family.
Oh boy.
Just what the heck is going on here?
Let's analyze the situation and discombobulate it.
I'm sorry, you're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet.
And I mean, Dunyarzad is not really involved in it. It's just the father, I suppose, so it's not all bad.
But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dekhan Al-Akmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dekhan Al-Akmar?
That's a possibility, but if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shahzaman as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
Shahzaman was actually aware of this, and perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operation this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
As far as you think.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
God, that would be an actually good plot twist to let Dunyarzad turn out evil.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dekhan Al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Is that... I put down again. Down. Huh? Oh. Hello.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet.
I mean, I'm always quiet. Paimon is the one who is quiet.
On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzad, we're back!"
Oh god.
So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
Why are we not going inside the house for that?
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
Does it feel unlikely?
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence.
Oh god. There's this dramatic camera zoom, but it isn't reflected in the voice at all.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seemed strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
I think that's the whole point.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Things are looking like at this point. Does it? I mean, okay, if you say so.
Sorry we put all of this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dehya.
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
What was the thing that what was the foundation of a good friendship? Built on trust, of course. Well, where is it? There.
Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself, Dehya. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
Huh? Okay. The usual place. I wonder.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Wait, didn't you tell him already?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
So, that's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind.
Oh, that explains her current state in the game.
If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
Wow, what an NPC.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter.
Oh god, it's all so mushy.
And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took.
Oh, how does that... I really feel like the auto moderator should filter these petty attempts at stuff out. Oh, whoops. Oh, can you... No, dismiss. Wait, how is it even possible that this bot is even getting through the shield mode? Do I have to increase the amount of time something has to be visible? Oh, wait a minute. Spam, scams, or bots? There we go. There we go. Is it really that easy in America to get so many phone numbers and stuff, since most of the people that can actually write on Twitch in this case need a connected phone number or an account that is older than 6 months? Yep. there's really no use in. Let's see. I want to have a look in the chatting view. I just don't want to see this kind of stuff at all. Yeah, let's see. How did this bot survive for over 6 months? Since I put in my chat, anyone who doesn't have a phone number connected with an account older than 6 months. Is it really so easy to make a fake phone number in America these days? Does this protection not even work anymore? Is it really? Oh, maybe it exists. Oh, maybe there exists something like, how's it called? I mean, there are those temporary emails that you can generate very easily. Is there a same website to make a temporary phone number? That would be interesting to know now. Let's see, Oh, yeah, there is. Of course there is. Your temporary phone number instead of your real phone number. User owner to receive SMS online and other retake. Wow. I mean, I'm not super surprised, but still. That is just sad. So I feel like regular people won't do this kind of bull, and only those come through that actually do this. Okay, in that case, I will do this and let's see what happens if I do this, since phone verification seems to do nothing. See what happens if I do this. Aggression and bullying. Oh, the auto mod doesn't even attempt to get spam bots? I just saw that the auto moderator is really kind of shy. Oh, Marco. This way, oh well, whatever. Oh, it's really annoying. It's annoying to deal with this kind of stuff. That's just the way. Well, now I had to make it so that you have to follow for at least 10 minutes before you can do this. That will dissuade most things, I guess, since they don't want to wait to, or maybe they do wait. I don't know. In any case, I just want to continue now. This took long enough.
Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any Mora from him, but he'd always send me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago.
Okay, so I predict the letter didn't even come from him. The letter came from someone else pretending to be him. That's my prediction.
The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Decano Akhmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
No, the culprits actually did this to... Yeah, there is a real culprit behind this. He just didn't want to reveal that it's not really him.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help.
Well, if he would have asked you for help, he would have come in person, or would have at least let him see you. That is not the man you've discussed it with.
In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Ha ha! There are no condoms in Tibet.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Can you try to believe in him just one more time? No.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head.
Not much, according to you.
But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Deccan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem.
I mean, the right way would have been to insist of meeting in person.
I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the core of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
It wasn't any weapons, so I wouldn't say mistakes. Outside the tavern at night. Alright. This seems night enough. Wow, the NPC looking man. Oh, he has a mustache though.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that?
She has a mustache.
Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. All right, back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dekhan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Nope.
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Not really. Next time you send something to them, you could take us with you.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Alright. Ugh, all the way there? Oh, why am I feeling slightly tired?
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
Oh, whoops.
I'll be back.
Oh, shit. What am I doing?
Buckle up! Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
What do you mean that's nothing to do with her? God, I'm only fighting so slow so I can get to her burst, which is the only fun part of this set.
Stand with me!
Oh, wait. How many are there?
Solidify.
You're dead meat!
Ah, shit, I'm stuck!
She's so strong.
Her burst should have been her elemental skill, I feel like.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
Ha! I knew it. Well, that he wasn't the one behind it all.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
That's why they turned to each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So we thought there was no escaping the records?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
Huh?
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
Hey, Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid.
God, how this turned into a sob story.
We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Running to violence with more violence will only cause more, of course. Can you do that amount of damage you've done? Oh boy. God, that just reminds me of the Metal Gear, one of the Metal Gear tracks. God, what was it? Wait, let me pull it up. I don't care about the little copyright thing. Okay, where was it? Wait, pull it up. Ah yeah, of course it was. It has to be this way. Oh boy. Well, violence breeds violence, but in the end it has to be this way.
Genshin Impact is a game.
Oh
which
God,
has
what
sucked away
happened?
my
No,
soul
no, no,
and
no, no,
killed
no,
my
no,
dog.
no, 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 no. I like him, but still, I didn't want it to the video to continue to that one. Okay, well, do you have any idea amount of damage you've done? Yeah, okay, let's go with that.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
Oh yeah, violence. It's not the answer, it's the question, and the answer is yes. Oh god.
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Nah, I wanna commit violence. I'm on your side, and if you wanna do violence, we do it with you.
Yeah, Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
You know, what would be an interesting RPG concept is that the hero of the story is actually not a good fighter, you know? And with no remarkable capabilities other than inspiring others. God, but then it would just become some sort of strategy game where you are the Wait, actually that's Fire Emblem already. In Fire Emblem you play as a strategist. You don't have any you don't know anything about combat, and you have to and you have to basically lead a little army to success with your ingenious strategies and stuff like that. So I guess that kind of stuff already exists. Well,
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
oh god, don't hype her up. She's one of the worst received characters in a long time. I mean, people were complaining about Sino, but Sino is really good compared to her. So, I don't know how they wanna remedy this. Or if they will ever do.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
God. Alright. Let's just travel a few thousand kilometers. No, 2,000 meters and a few... Whatever. Where is this? Wait, how do I get up there? Why can you not? No, don't you dare fall down! What?
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
Pyro. I mean, Dehya will be there. What was that?
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I fought through many situations like this before. At least I will survive. You? Not so much.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Oh wow, we are fighting with NPCs. That's something. Is that just the empty void, or is there actually something down here? Shit! No, I lost all my bursts. This is so bull. Wait, can I just go out again? Wait. Yeah, let's try this again. No, I won't get my bursts back from that. Oh well, let's try it anyway. Yeah, it's just...
Wow.
Okay.
Paimon didn't expect...
They should all be holed up.
Who cares?
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got...
Yeah, we'll know what they're really... Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Oh yeah, she didn't even had her burst up, so that was a huge waste of time. Okay, you're going this way, I go this way. Oh, what the heck? Well, you can fight that fight. I am looking for treasure now. Uh-oh. Oh, doesn't matter. I'm looking for treasure. NPCs that are not meant to die don't die, so... Sometimes there are treasure chests here, not always. Oh well.
Let's get it on!
Stabilize!
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
How regretful.
Buckle up! Hi!
You punchy.
Oh, there are more.
Ha! Gloves off!
Take that!
Look alive! Ha! Stand with me! Gotcha!
I'll take it. Feeling lucky today? Solidify!
Right.
Here comes the catch. Hi. Yeah. Buckle up. Hi.
Fix up your sleeve!
The damage is not coming from Dehya. The damage is coming from
Busted.
Galen.
Take it easy. Gotcha. Look alive.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
I mean, this fight could have ended faster, but I wanted to play with Dehya. Hey. And now,
Wait,
Hyper
They
Beam,
were
go.
charging ahead without checking for any traps.
And they're
Hey,
trapped.
you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see.
Look at that door.
I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Oh. Wait, maybe was there by any chance treasure chests after winning? No? Oh. Raise and change color? And now change color. Ah, they introduced actually a new mechanic here, huh? Oh, oh god, really?
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over. Buckle up. Hi. You asked for it.
Oh, I could have just interrupted it by jumping, I forgot.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Alright. Wait, what? Just... Okay. Wait, what? Was that really it? Thought we had to do something with this one too. Okay. That was... nah. They really need to improve the puzzles to not make them so... Oh god. Man.
Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now. Let's get it on! Ha! 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 Hey! Ha!
Oh. I almost forgot the treasure chest. Oh, another one? Okay.
Gotcha. Quietly now. Here comes the catch. Look alive! Gloves off! Hey! Buckle up! Hey! Gotcha!
Yeah, I'm really playing really badly right now on purpose. Should have killed them way faster. Any more treasure chests? God, I mean, they don't need to be Silent Hill levels of puzzles, but at least something, not something a 6-year-old could solve.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already.
I do have the feeling he will not look as impressive as he sounds.
I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin.
I think the problem is they don't give them fancy enough hair to make them look any good. They would just need to recolor some of the main character hairs or something.
Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory. Wave 1, charge! Eliminate them!
Okay. Oh. So much for charging when you are bloody...
I will have order. Gather!
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Let's get it on! You asked for it!
Don't think that you've won. We're just getting started.
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
This is order.
Grow! The Temple of Wisdom! Our bond is strong!
Okay, let's finish this quickly.
Brothers!
With me, this is where we prove our faith.
Oh shit.
You all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Stabilize.
What do you mean you're wasting a storm? You're wasting nothing but death.
Committed to memory. Make yourselves at home. Stand with me.
Oh. Alright then.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us. This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
Yeah, let them come. It's way more fun that way.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
Didn't even hear a punch.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
Who's putting these treasure chests everywhere in my way? Well, I mean the devs, but it doesn't make sense for them to be here and not already plundered. So many enemies around.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Oh, and then they really try to make this game seem like tough and all that. But the problem is, I mean, in a lot of other anime, when you look at enemies, they don't look as clean or nice to begin with. They don't look like average Joes. They still have somewhat of a character. You know, the kind of the ugly bastard style in anime it is called, I think. And that is the kind of face thing that is missing here to actually make anyone seem antagonistic and not baby-faced all the time. That is something that this game is still missing. They all have these, you know, how they call these Bishi looking dudes and the way too young looking dudes, and try to make them old by giving them a beard, which is so ridiculous. And only very few NPCs have any distinguishable features. Where's the dead guy here? Yeah, who did take him out and how?
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Something that they didn't find? The cane, really? I thought
Is this a cane?
there were only ashes
It must
left.
be the one that Dehya's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Like bones? Why does it sound like that is a totally different voice? You sound way too young.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Oh god. Why is there so many audible gasps suddenly?
Proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Oh my god. Oh wow, that is the... Okay. Couldn't even read all of that.
What's this?
Really? They tried to make it such an emotional moment. But it is so absurd. I don't know. If that is really almost the end of it, that must have been... That must have been the worst story quest in the game yet. All on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
Wow, she rarely spends her allowance on other people. It's really my treat, but you get the point. She rarely spends her allowance on. No, it's really my treat, but you get the point.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy.
But the cutscene was so weird. It had way too many audible gasps. I'm used to it with a lot of anime, but the thing is, it happens a lot throughout, and that was just this one instant where she suddenly did, in a totally wrong pitch too. The pitch didn't match the voice at all that came out afterwards. Ah! That was kinda painful in its own way.
Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures.
Did they? Did they really? I mean, I found the previous adventures way more shaking and exciting.
But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
But Dunyarzad is still alive. Everything just happened so fast. I mean, what? Oh well.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all.
I spend it left and right, but only because I have so much.
Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different?
I found that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad... Oh, right. Oh, right, okay, so he wasn't... Oh, okay, I get it.
Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake.
I mean, it wasn't really that much of a big deal, was it? I mean, it didn't felt very grand, so to speak.
We're hypocrites, all of us.
What? No, we're not. Should never question your true feelings. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
God, now I actually want a retelling. I have the feeling I missed a lot. And also, having a live performance of crying is always nice. In a way, kinda. Is it weird to say that?
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
You know what? It feels like the hair of anime characters are breathing with how they move so much, at least in here. Since I've never really seen hair move as much as I see it in anime in this game. But it's better like that than it's super stiff, especially if it's super floofy.
I understand how you feel.
Yeah, like this, like Dunyazad's hair. That looks all kinds of wrong since, you know, the hair in the front doesn't move at all. It makes sense for the hair in the back to not move much. But in the front it should move at least a little bit, unless you put glue in it or something.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Oh, I thought it would be over now, but no, we're actually going shopping for a rug now.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
You bit it. Oh, he has bitten his tongue.
Hey, aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Is it his panty collection?
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Oh, okay. Better than my... I guess.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
That's a lot for that small of a box.
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there.
Nope, it's all memories for him.
2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
What an interesting man.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dehya. It's a letter for me?
Don't need to read it out loud, but you should.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Okay. I don't know why I found that funny.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
Haha, you were an orphan.
I don't know.
Oh god, that sounds so wrong when I say it out loud.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you.
How did the baby survive in the blazing heat of the desert?
You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
Isn't that a good thing?
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
No, I'm not a meanie.
Yeah, it's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me.
Oh god, is there really anything good coming out of that ever?
I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold.
Oh my god, this is way too mushy!
And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
Don't want you to stop going forward. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know why. This is just too...
I'll help too.
It's just too by the books. Or maybe I had too much since I recently watched Kuma Bear. And that was already really something.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Oh, the box looks way bigger now. Okay. Lion's blood. Is it lion's blood? Well then. Alright. Then let's go straight into the next one. I guess I can start with the Bible. I mean, it will be just a little bit a quick departure. Huh? Oh, I have to talk to you, really? Hello. Good luck to you there. There's nothing I can do here. Babushutsu? For second place. I mean, because there's an event here. Where did you appear from anyway? I'm on. Dang, we came here together, didn't we? Fontaine. Paimon's Paimon, of course she is. I'm here to be Bear's superior institute, conduct some research. Energy. Nope, I don't remember. Need a large specialized batch of Neowave or conduct experiment. God, I'm not caring enough. If you're not voice acting it, it can't be important. I mean, I know I used to do visual novels, but if the game starts with voice acting, I get too lazy to read the parts that don't have them. That's just how it works. For me, at least. Five research. Oh god, no, I skipped it over and over. Oh. Yeah, some kind of experimentation that wasn't really going according to protocol, and then there was an argument, and then it seems like there has to be an experiment to validify the testing results of the experiment that was conducted without proper regulations or something. It's not about the Mo, it's about the Primo gems. I'll do it if I get your share too. Minerals, vibro crystals. God, I'm so bored of this already. Please, blah blah blah, refer to as harmonics. Yeah, I know what this event is about. And also, he didn't do it alone. I helped him the last time, I think. Bamboo shoot soup. Okay, yeah, he wants to eat. But I don't care. Alright. Yeah. Fade. Yeah, that's platinum thing I don't give a shit about since it doesn't give any rewards. Alright, finally. Better. First half and second half. Oh wait, did it actually Oh, it can only be okay, what is it? Transmission will be triggered after a character triggers a vaporize reaction. Pyro damage. Power damage. Charge attack damage is increased. Attack is increased. Okay. Oh, Yomiya. If I go with Yomiya. Yomiya, Yelan. I guess Kazuha and Zhongli. Who am I putting on this? Oh. What do we have for Monix here? Is that the same thing? Oh my god, it's the same thing. Okay. Ugh, then I have to equip my other characters again. This Shincho. Oh, let's just put Venti in here and this one. But I have to equip. Oh god, Venti is absolutely terrible for the second half, so I have to switch that around. But for now... Oh, you have this equipped at the moment? Well, that sucks. Oh. Which other character was not ready? Venti had all he needed, right? Venti. Where are you? He's so near there. Oh, nope. Oh, it was lagging. Okay, that explains it. Okay, now I have it. Okay. So... Okay. Yeah, I'm putting... Okay, where are you, Venti? Wait, what? Oh. Venti and Zhongdong Li, and... Now we go with... Huh? Oh, what? Look. Maybe I should just use Xiangling, but I don't like that. Shincho, Kazuha, they don't. What? What?
Here come the fireworks!
Gather!
Think you can get away?
What the fuck? That is not good.
Fun's over.
Time for a light show! Gold Bishop down!
Keep
just say Goldfish of Doom?
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
I will have order. Stabilize.
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over.
Time for takeoff. The fuse is lit. A festive reprise. Yahoo!
Oh.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Time for a light show.
Gather.
Brace yourselves. Think you can get away?
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey.
The fuse is lit.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
Yahoo!
Gotcha. Here comes the catch.
Time for takeoff. Here come the fireworks. Fire hazard.
I will have order.
Okay. God, this went all kinds of wrong, but
Witness my great undertaking. Let me weave you a verse. Know my sword. Wind strike.
Verdict is... Burn!
Live! Feel this ancient power. Witness the power of Gurwa. Huh? Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
oh.
Come into being.
Oh shit.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. Burst forth.
Time for retribution!
Witness my great undertaking. Live! Rain cutter, know my sword.
Verdict is...
Burst forth. Witness the power of Gurwa. Rain outlines your...
As one with wind and cloud. Time for retribution! Burn!
Let me weave you a verse. Huh? Feel this ancient power. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Verdict is...
Fine. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect more than that. All you see is a bunch of lights and numbers. I mean, yeah, that's probably how it goes. That is all. Wait, is it that bad that you literally can't see? Wait, let me. I should actually look at that, I suppose. Wait, what? Huh? Why is this not connected to Twitch anymore? The heck? Oh, okay, now it's connected again. Alright. Crusader 2, I mean, Mosa, I can't tell if it's going good or bad. I mean, it was going pretty good. I mean, it's basically some or less how much damage can you put in. Yeah, but my combos were not really good since my rotations were absolute ass. Since I didn't really utilize the animo. Let's see, what do we have here? Monix. Transmission will be triggered after a character deals animal damage, will be triggered after a character triggers a swirl reaction. Uses an elemental skill. So it's animal damage, swirl, and okay. Animal damage is increased. Normal charge and plunging attacks crit damage is in. Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go with the crit damage. Okay, in that case, I will use my thingamabob here. I mean, in the end, I just want to swirl a lot, so let's just go with this. Is this the same one? After character deals animal damage, return of character is a swirl, return of a character is not meant for swirl. Alright, this is attack. This is animal damage. If I'm missing something, it's that. So, and if just... Wait a minute. Swirl damage is not considered animal damage? Ah, then that wouldn't give me any value for my other ones. Switch will be triggered after a character uses an elemental skill. Character triggers a swirl reaction. Oh, okay, I understand now. Wait, any elemental skill, right? Okay, in that case... would benefit from this the most? Did I... Huh? Oh. Did I equip my Ayaka yet? Wait, what would I even combine Ayaka with? Not the most effective combo, but it would probably work. Nah. The feeling I have to... Nah, I have to give her Shinsho. Kazuha, and you get... Definitely get Yelan and... Zhongli, but who else? Let's just go with this. And you get Diona. Where's Diona? There. Okay, that should work. But now I have to check if Ayaka even has her the white gear on. Okay, that is white. This seems white.
A blade embraces its duty.
Yeah, that's definitely white. I haven't even checked which enemies are on which side. I think that might be a problem, but it's more of me not being very observant.
Order guide you. Solidify.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
The wind rises. Cry louder.
Stabilize.
This. Gotcha. Busted. Here comes the catch.
Squall and fury. Unsightly insects. Coming to be.
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over.
The wind rises. Upon the gale. Cry louder. Burst forth.
Things are about to get dicey.
Squall and fury.
Oh, I could have given her the crit thing back. Where are you?
Know your place. Coming to be.
Busted. Here comes the catch.
Behold.
I think I never dealt so much damage.
Unsightly insects. Burst forth.
Quietly now. Things are about to get...
The wind rises. You dare to gaze upon me?
This! Gotcha. Here comes the catch.
Behold. Bow your head.
Alright, hands up. Oh god, really a pog? Yay, I get him. Everyone's getting pogs. Oh, I did a mistake. Wait, no, I didn't.
Good job.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Rain cutter. Rain outlines your. Embrace the ice.
Another test.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Rain. Sakura swirl.
Clouds high. The birds call. Into the wind.
Let me weave you a verse. Know my sword.
Where are the enemies? There they are.
Embrace the ice. My apologies.
As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Witness the power of Gugwa. Rain outlines your. Take flight. Sakura swirl.
Following orders. New punch. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Into the wind.
Rain cutter. Know my sword. Embrace the ice.
Lucky today.
My apologies.
Oh, you're so strewn about. Annoying.
Shaken and stirred. Can't handle your dream.
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Let me weave you a verse. Time to act.
Really?
Take flight. Sakura swirl.
Following orders. Wind striking. New clouds high. The birds call.
What did we go in?
My apologies.
I don't know.
Following orders.
Time's over. No, that went higher. So apparent, I don't even know what the platinum points are. They're probably double of the ones that I've gotten. Oh wow, there's so much still. Vaporize, overload, burning. Wait, vaporize, overload, burning, or pyro swirly reaction? A burgeon reaction. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't even see this one. After triggers, so all party members who deal animal damage will gain 35 crit rate. I didn't even realize that. Trigger a shockwave at the power that deals okay, I mean this one's not as good, but this one's good and this one's, I guess, good? I don't want to do this anymore, so I will look what the vibro crystals are, just because. Curious what they will be. When you gain of this effect, your character's elemental damage is elemental. Wait, just elemental damage as in general. Okay. The effective character's elemental burst damage is increased. Crit rate. I mean, okay. Yeah, all not too bad. Let's see. Where is it? Hangout. What was that? Huh? A mysterious senior. So we will have the case of 100-year-old character looks like a teenager syndrome. At least that's all I know about her.
Even though most of the Academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
I mean, you have all the way until you reach Sumeru City from here to mentally prepare you.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
Of course. In a predicament, I see. Wait, that doesn't... Oh, well, whatever. I thought I was already there.
Hey there!
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City.
What made you think I have time on my hands?
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the Academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task.
Didn't you just want to let it do Kale? And something that wait, the research banned by the Academia and something that I know about?
It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives.
Who's she?
You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher.
Never heard about her. When you say very experienced...
Let's just say that a huge part of Ksharowar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation.
100 years? Is she even human?
She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the Academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago.
Oh, a time paradox. If only some helpful stranger was around. Yep, that's definitely where this is going.
Because of that, her current personality can be a bit strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I'll try.
You really have to invite her here?
Yes, Ksharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter.
God, why are they still using these words that don't mean anything to me?
However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up.
Did she get caught by the Academia?
I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble. Anyway, can you go with Kale to the Academia and check on Faruzan for me?
Sure.
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go!
All right. Hello.
Oh, yes, and one more thing. You might find her difficult to get along with at first.
Oh, I will antagonize her as much as I can.
However, if you address her as Madam, she'll become much easier to talk to.
Won't do. Just for the hell of it. Oh wow, she's quite far away. This would be very inconvenient if we would have to travel all this way without a fast travel system.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Ah, yes. And did you forget to add madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students, even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time.
Yep, that's very much true.
You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam Faruzan, please let me finish.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
She looks so young! I thought she was gone for 100 years. Whatever could have happened to her? A teacher being judged by their ability to teach? No, she was judged about that she wasn't putting in any research material. So basically, they are judging... I think, if I understand it right, she didn't research something in a long time and put in results for it. So she didn't do research and she didn't put in results, I guess, in a long time. So it's not her teaching that is questioned, but her, I guess, her contribution to teaching material? I think? Did I get that right? I don't know. Could be. Yeah, I mean, I'm second guessing anyway.
Shh! She hates it when people call her young!
Why?
Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago.
What in the world happened to her? The best anti-aging cream ever.
Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
I'm not ready.
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madam Faruzan? Are you listening?
Mm-hmm. Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the Academia? Are you feeling better now?
Oh, okay, she seems cheery seeing her.
I'm much better, Madam Faruzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again?
Oh god, how can you call him that?
No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you. There's really no need. Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary Traveler?
Pleasure to meet your pleasure to meet your acquaintance, madam? Isn't it pleasure to make your acquaintance? Will she berate me for this?
Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now.
She's such a stereotypical character.
It is thanks to you, after all, that the academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Polly's illness is...
Ahem. Madam Faruzan, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class.
She's not even teaching.
It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer.
So she has to either be a teacher or do research.
You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
Sounds like some internal academia. This seems to have nothing to do with Tanawi's request.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day.
But you already promised.
Kale
seems like she wants to say something. Please give me a moment with Kale.
Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Party's DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
Help her resolve her current problem. Let's think of some way to get her to Paris Dia.
But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make Faruzan's situation more awkward?
Don't care.
And if the academia investigated and found her at Party's DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the academia's toes?
You do have the makings of an idea? Do I? Well, apparently I have.
Okay then. I'm counting on you.
Oh, terrible mistake.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Madame Faruzan, we're back. Sorry for asking again, but are you sure you can't go to Party's DI today?
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore the academia and...
Please, Madame Faruzan, focus. Today's the deadline.
Actually, Tainari wants to invite her over to discuss some research.
Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right. Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Not everything, but to get you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research,
a fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
Wow.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the Academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done.
Okay.
Phew. I think she bought it.
That was quick thinking back there, but how do you invent something you just thought about?
Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Are you sure about that?
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Faruzan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the Academia asks for any details...
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to them?
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the Academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the Academia nonsense.
Okay. And back we go.
Master, we're back! Huh? Where did he go?
You don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
Onto others? What does that mean?
To you!
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
Took me a while to... Oh, what? Oh yeah, the living machine, which is forbidden knowledge. Kakata! Cool.
A monster? Why is there a monster here?
Wait, you didn't see him before?
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back.
No,
its name is Karkata.
No, not Kakarot. But yeah, this I made so much fun of that. This side character is more memorable and had more depth to it than Dunya's art for me.
It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look.
Is Karkata sick?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further, but Madame Faruzan, you should be able to find a way to repair it.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
Oh, he's dying.
Karkata.
You just met him and you're already sad about him.
Can you
Kakarot!
outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Faruzan.
Oh, boy.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her.
I also wanted to ask about her past. Was she dipped in some kind of liquid and suspended in time?
Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you. I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description.
Trapped?
Her exact words were...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind.
Oh, God.
After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape.
What?
When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago.
Is she even the same person anymore?
And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew, and everyone who knew her, was already gone.
How did you knew then that she was looking exactly the same? Did you had cameras 100 years ago already?
In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence.
Oh, God. Good thing they found that out before we shut down the Akasha system, which is kind of shite, but oh well.
Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations. Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
Okay.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
It has collected parts before, yes.
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins.
Huh?
The creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem.
Okay, why?
Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? That is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
Where's the archaeological team? What's the lead researcher's name? Yeah.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else. Wait, don't tell me.
Yep, she pawned it off on you!
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
Wow. Dick move.
A fully automated irrigation system. That's quite the task.
Master, can I help with anything at all? I can go buy things, prepare pen and paper.
Oh, you know, I seem to remember that you have a lot of homework today.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I do.
Great camera angle.
Well, hurry up and finish it so you can sleep early, or Faruzan will worry. That's the best thing you can do now to help.
Oh, okay.
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further.
We are not outsiders. She's a research. I mean, yeah.
That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy.
We can't just waste our time here like this. Brute force.
You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
Okay. That's not quite what I meant. I didn't want to speak to a lot of NPCs.
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend actually be true?
The ruins? Don't know anything. We were only hired to deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close to the camp where they're staying.
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms, but it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such a thing even humanly possible?
Oh, right, that was me.
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you?
This machine they speak of.
Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage did seem a bit weird.
What's weird about it?
It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps we should ask the villager from before about the legend first.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here?
I want to learn more about the legend of the Ruin Wanderer.
I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since faded into memory. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeological expedition. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Wait, that's a villain voice for you? A villainous voice of villainy?
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow.
No, wanna research now.
There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit simple, yes, but I hope you won't mind.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that.
Dang it. Did we really need to?
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. I only caught a quick glimpse, and it was from a distance. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago.
A dozen?
Yes. The timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, assuming that it really is the Ruin Wanderer, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades?
Restitution module.
That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before.
Seen such life forms before?
Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Karkata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here.
Is it no longer up?
Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly.
But didn't you go and investigate earlier?
Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Karkata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant. Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the manpower expenditure. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you?
Okay.
All right. I'm counting on you.
This is very, something. Hello.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping.
Well, you were right. He was a bad guy. Villain voice confirmed.
Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what it takes.
Huh? Who's there?
It's me!
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here?
What's the tent you mentioned, if I might ask?
Ah, it's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here.
And you're discussing that over here because...
The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol.
There are people who'd steal these relics?
Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people precisely because I was worried about that happening. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that you've traversed through the desert to come here in the middle of the night? Also, where's Faruzan? Why isn't she with you?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back.
Okay.
Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we've already done that. We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
Mistaken? What do you mean mistaken? What happened?
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having already been triggered. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage in the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins about a dozen years ago. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach the same conclusion I did. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer may lie within those pages.
Can't decipher coded messages?
It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse.
Okay.
Just a bit more. Ah, I see now.
Help! Please help! Why are you running away? Come back! Protect me!
What's that sound? Is it? The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. I'll cover them. You go stall the Ruin Wanderer.
Okay.
What? It ignored the Traveler?
Why is it chasing after us?
You took something from it, didn't you?
What could have caused it to reactivate? And to give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
Huh? What?
It stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up there and tell me what's going on.
But what if it suddenly moves?
You You good-for-nothings! Why is everyone I hired so useless? Move! I'll do it myself. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much weaker than it looks. How disappointing.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Faruzan, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize that thing.
January 3rd, excavated 5 tents. January 5th, 3 tents sold. January 10th, 1 special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent.
Oh, so tent is your code name for relics?
You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it.
That is a really easy code to... even I would have probably figured that out.
When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruined Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruined Wanderer in the black market, yes? And then we arrived just before you could finish your work. That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruined Wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey, we're leaving.
Mr. Raid!
Behind you?
Did he eat him?
Why is it moving again? Run!
Faruzan, watch out!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time?
What? What? Huh? Is that her little robot that she had and it built itself up to be a massive machine?
Long time no see, Tamimi.
Seriously? What? Ah! Can't control myself.
Dear Faruzan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you live still in some corner of this world. You've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving and finding your way home.
How did this paper survive 80 years?
Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Others keep telling me to stop exploring ruins. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
Welcome home, Faruzan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years. Thank you for waiting for me all this time. I've safely received the letters. Your work is done now. You can sleep.
That's...
Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me, take notes for me, and send my letters home. When I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I once thought that I'd never get to see it again. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. One decade of wandering became many, and soon, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. All so it could deliver these last letters from them to me.
Though they had all passed on, they still prayed for your safe return. Ancient laminated paper, oh god. That's how it survived.
The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart, right?
Mimi?
Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Now, it can finally rest in peace. Tighnari told you what happened to me, right?
Kinda?
You don't have to apologize. It's not like this incident is a secret in the academia. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat conflicted. Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer. Just a bit.
What are these? Yellow node. Modding is going smoothly as now I can learn how to deal with various dangers in the ruin on its own. I wish you could see it with your own eyes. Do a better job at this than I could. You're the most exceptional student. Often corrected note. Told you not to. Now look, so many people worried, even Tamimi. Messy scribbler has been repeatedly cancelled and edited. Barely legible phrases, single message at the back. Hurry up and come back for a meal. Your mom always makes an extra portion of food, you know? Wait, that is the yellow node. Neatly pen node? Yeah, madam, the notes and manuscripts we found Tamimi have been transcribed and organized, and every one of them has been marked with your name. Future generations of students will still remember your name. Oh! Yep, that was an achievement to read them. That's good to know. Oh. Well then. Let's bring this to a close. And I'm going for a walk. Eating something and... I don't know. Probably go check.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame Faruzan?
I mean, tell the whole truth?
Oh no. She finally got to reunite with an old friend from 100 years ago. But...
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as a friend, a student, and a daughter, we should give her some time. Let's just wait for her here. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support her as her new friends.
Up to wait until one day later? Well, if you say so.
I'm back! What? Is there to be no welcoming party?
We've all been waiting for you, Madame Faruzan.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape.
Why can I not click anything? Oh, why? Because of dot dot dot.
Huh? Why do you all look so solemn? Come now. Liveliness befits youngsters more.
Madame Faruzan, did these parts come from...
Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. This isn't something you have to worry about. Well, it looks like you already know everything, but no need to feel bad. Like I said before, as researchers, we must learn to accept our failures. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. It would thus be much better to use them to extend Karkata's lifespan. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. That holds true for both researchers and machines. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my research. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right, I'll do my best to help.
Me too. Although, I'm not sure if I'll be much help.
I help too because I have no other options.
Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no reason why we won't be able to do even better. And when that day comes, I'll be sure to say, welcome home, Tamimi.
Oof. New friends, a new life, a new beginning. Ah. Well. Oh, okay, that's it then. For today at least. Oh, how many? I have 9? That means I need 3 more hours somehow. That will probably be the rest of the Hangout, the Vibro Crystal Thingamabob, and whatever else will come out. Alright then, bye bye. I am tired now. Don't forget. Well, no, never mind.